One of the greatest fears that new and even experienced wholesalers and flippers have is getting on the phone with a seller lead and not knowing how to properly answer questions. Well, on today's video, I'm going to share with you the top questions home sellers ask investors and give you my exact wording and scripts for how to respond, as well as a step-by-step breakdown coming up.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's Quick Start Kit with everything you need to flip your first house in 30 days or less. Download it now at myquickstartkit.com.
If you're new here to the channel, I'm Jerry Norton with FlippingMastery.com, and this channel is all about ways to help you make money wholesaling and flipping real estate so you can live your dream life. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get notified when new videos are released. Now, all of the word-for-word scripts that I'm going to cover in this video, I put together in a nice PDF download. If you want this to have it as a reference in front of you when you're talking to sellers, then you can download it for free. I'll put the link in the description. As much as I love automation and I believe in using technology to really do the business better and faster, real estate is still a people business, and it will always be a people business. That means you're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to meet people. And if you want to succeed in this business, you're going to have to get comfortable with sales, negotiations, and overcoming objections. And when it comes to lead generation and how to find discounted properties and how to approach motivated sellers, you can do either a push marketing technique or you can do a pull marketing technique. The way I look at it is any marketing effort you do to get sellers to call you is a pull technique. Things like online ads, direct mail, bandit signs, marketing where a person saw some type of ad and then called you. Push marketing, as far as I define it, is when you take a proactive approach and directly reach out to the seller. This is mainly cold calling. It requires first that you get a list of leads in your target market, such as pre-foreclosure, absentee owners, probate, tax delinquents, and dozens of other types of motivated seller leads. In fact, I did a video where I go over 67 different motivated seller leads that you can go after. I'll put a link to that video in the description box below and you can watch it later. Then once you have a list, pick up the phone and call those leads to see if they want to sell their properties. Now in this video, I want to focus on push marketing, where you call up a seller to find out if they want to sell their property. And if this sounds intimidating to you and you have a fear of talking to people, I want to encourage you and challenge you to work on overcoming that fear. Here is the secret to getting good on the phone. Practice. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get talking to people, and the easier it gets, and before long, you are relaxed and you sound natural and it just flows. I'm a big believer in taking imperfect action instead of perfect inaction. Always remember, every expert was once a beginner. Start where you are today and build on those skills every single day. All right, let's dive in. So you cold call a seller and they answer the phone. First of all, say something like, "Hi, I realize this is kind of random, but the reason I'm calling is because I'm a local real estate investor and we're looking to purchase a property in your neighborhood, and I wanted to see if you would be interested in a cash offer for your property." Now at this point, the call can go in one of two directions. The seller could answer yes, no, or maybe, which we'll talk about in a minute, so keep watching, or he or she could have some reservations or some skepticism and reply by asking you questions. If skeptical, the first most common question that you'll get is, "Who is this?" or "Who are you?" Now, if wholesaling, my proven and simple reply is, "My name is Jerry Norton, I'm a local real estate investor, and I also work with a group of other investors, and we buy and remodel homes in the area, and we're actually looking to buy a home right now in your neighborhood, which is why I'm calling you." Now, I want you to pay close attention to how I positioned my answer. Notice I added, "and I work with a group of other investors and we buy and remodel homes in the area." Now this is a nice way of saying I'm a wholesaler without saying I'm a wholesaler. Other investors is referring to cash buyers. Now another way of saying the same thing is my partners and I buy and remodel homes in the area. Partners referring to cash buyers. Now I actually don't tell the seller I'm going to wholesale the property. That's not a good idea. Doing so only creates unnecessary objections. I actually did an entire video addressing this topic and why you shouldn't tell the seller you're a wholesaler. Now, if you'd like to watch that video, I'll put a link in the description below and you can watch it later. The reason why I include other investors or my partners is because later, if the deal progresses and I get to a contract, I'm going to need to get access to the property so my cash buyers can see it. And this makes that conversation easy because now I can say my other investors and or partners need to come see the property. By the way, if you're a fix and flipper, then you can just leave that part out. Now, the second most common skeptical response you might get after "who are you" is, how do I know you're legit? By asking this question, what they really want to know is, can I trust you? Now, if you're in my mentor and partner program, the answer is really easy. You just say, me and my partners have purchased hundreds of properties over the past 15 years from homeowners just like you. Of course, partners referring to Jerry Norton. And if you'd like to learn more about how to mentor and partner with me on deals, I'll put a link to an advanced training in the description below, and you can watch it later. If you're a new investor and you don't have experience, this is a little tougher. Do your best to reassure them and restate the benefits of what you provide. Say something like, sir or ma'am, we do everything on the up and up to make sure it's a smooth transaction for you. We pay all cash, close quickly, we cover all of the closing costs so you won't pay any commissions, and best of all, we'll buy your house as is so you don't have to put a penny into the house. Now, if they want to talk to a referral, which doesn't happen all that often, have them call your investor-friendly title company so they can reassure them about the selling process. And I've got a video about how to find an investor-friendly title company, link in the description. Okay, the third most common skeptical response when you ask a seller if they'd be interested in a cash offer is, how did you get my number? Now, if only people knew that their phone number was not private information. I simply reply, since we're looking for a home to buy with all cash in your neighborhood, we used an internet service that looked up your phone number for us. Now, this is technically called skip tracing, and I have a video where I tell you everything you need to know about finding homeowners' phone numbers. I'll put a link to that video as well in the description below so you can watch it later. All right, so now let's talk about what to say when you ask if they would be interested in a cash offer for their property and they respond with yes, no, or maybe. Let's start with no first, and then maybe, and then yes, so keep watching. So how do you respond when a seller says, no, I'm not interested? First of all, keep in mind that this is going to happen like 90% of the time. It's okay, expect it. You're looking for the 5% of motivated sellers that are ready to sell. So when you get a no, simply reply, no problem, I totally understand. Do you happen to know someone else that might be interested in selling their property? So if the seller says not right now or maybe in the future, respond by saying, okay, great, how soon until you're ready to sell? Would it be okay if I follow up with you in a few weeks? We're really looking to buy a house in your neighborhood as soon as possible. Your house is how many square feet? Now, this tries to open up the conversation again. All right, let's discuss now what to say when a seller says yes. When a seller says yes, you want to get to a ballpark offer price and pre-sell on the phone or pre-close on the phone. Now, a lot of investors don't do this and immediately schedule an appointment to meet the seller. Now, I think this is a mistake because the price the seller may want could be way off from what we need to pay. Now, of course, you'll follow up with a site visit to verify the condition and neighborhood later, but for now, whenever a seller says, yes, I'm interested in selling, you want to make a ballpark offer on the phone. Let me break it down for you. Typically, the seller responds by saying, yes, how much will you give me? Now, here's how to respond. That's great. Unlike most other buyers, we pay all cash, like I said, but we also can close quickly. We cover all of the closing costs so you won't pay any commissions or closing fees. And best of all, we will buy your home as is, and you don't have to spend a penny fixing anything. So for an offer like that, how much would you take? Then be quiet. It's always better to get the seller to name their price first. Remember, he who names the price first loses. Now, sometimes they will and sometimes they won't. If they give a number, respond with, okay, let me see if we can make that number work. If they don't give a number, say, let me ask you a few questions and then I can give you a price. Either way, the next thing you want to get is an idea of the size of the home and the condition. While on the phone, look up the property on Zillow or Redfin so you have the basic details in front of you. Ask the square footage of the home and if they've done any updates to the kitchen or bathrooms. Maybe ask how old the roof is or are there any known repairs needed. Now you're trying to get an idea if the home is in need of a light, average, or heavy rehab. You need to know this so that you can factor it into your buy formula. If you have my FLIPSTER deal management software, this is really easy and fast. All you do is enter in the address into the deal analyzer, enter the square footage of the property, and if it needs a light, average, or heavy rehab, and then it will calculate all of the numbers for you. For example, let's say that the seller tells you that the property is 1,200 square feet and that the roof was replaced 5 years ago and the home was updated in 2002. That means it's an average rehab because it's gonna need carpet and paint and kitchen and baths. Now, FYI, I have an entire video where I break down how to calculate the rehab number, link in the description. But with the built-in algorithms in my deal analyzer tool inside FLIPSTER, it does it for you in about 5 seconds. By the way, if you've never heard of FLIPSTER, it's a cloud-based, all-inclusive deal management software, and the deal analyzer tool is just one of dozens of tools to help you organize, streamline, and automate all of the steps to wholesaling and flipping houses. To check it out and see it in action, just click the link in the description. So once you enter the square footage and you choose whether the rehab is light, average, or heavy, hit enter and it gives you the buy price. You can adjust your desired wholesale fee right here, and then at the bottom here is your offer price. Now again, you can do this while on the phone with the seller. Next, you want to say the following. Based on running some quick numbers for a cash as is offer, I'm going to need to be in the range of $125,000. Now, I might be able to do a little bit more once I meet you and see the property. Then be quiet and see how they respond. If they respond favorably, schedule a site visit to confirm the rehab and execute a contract. Say the following. Great, I'm actually going to be in the area today and can swing by and meet you. But if they say something like, I won't sell my house unless I get $250,000 because that's what my neighbor's house sold for, and you need to be around $125,000, then aren't you glad you didn't take the time to meet an unmotivated seller? By the way, I have an entire video dedicated to helping a seller understand the difference between retail price and investor all cash price. There is a huge difference, and it's important that you know how to help a seller see that difference. I'll put a link to that video in the description below. Now, pro tip here, the key to succeeding on the phones is always in the follow-up. Studies show that 80% of sales are made between the 5th and 12th follow-up. So if you get a voicemail, leave the following message. Hi, sorry I missed you. I was calling about a property that I believe you own in the area, and I just wanted to reach out and see if you might have any interest in selling. I'm a local investor and we buy houses cash, which means you don't have to do anything to the property. We buy them as is, and we can typically close fairly quickly. And listen, if I got the wrong person, I'm sorry for the interruption, but give me a shout back, even if you're not thinking about selling right now, just so I know and I can take you off our list. You can reach me directly at, leave your phone number. I look forward to talking to you soon. Again, the number to reach me is, leave your phone number. Take care, bye-bye. Now, all of the word-for-word scripts I put together in a nice PDF download. If you want this to have it as a reference in front of you when you're talking to sellers, then you can download it for free. I'll put the link in the description. All right, hey, if you learned something new in this video, show some love, hit that like button right now. And if you plan on using these scripts to get on the phones and talk to sellers, leave a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm dedicated to helping you make more money in less time wholesaling and flipping houses so you can live your dream life. And I'll see you on the next video.